Hello, you're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to English News Broadcast. These are the top stories. The ERi College of Business and Social Science, in cooperation with News, organized a workshop. The rehabilitated nationals in Abed say they are improving their livelihoods. The global COVID-19 case and death toll continue to rise. And the Pentagon to send Ukraine counter-drone and electronic warfare equipment. The local news. The ERi College of Business and Social Sciences, in cooperation with the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students, organized a workshop focusing on cultural heritage and national identity. The workshop was attended by 150 staff members and students of the college. According to reports, the objective of the workshop was to raise the awareness of the staff members and students of the college on the significance of preserving cultural heritage and the noble societal values and transfer them to posterity. At the workshop, 16 topics associated with cultural and national identity were raised, and extensive discussion was conducted. Speaking at the event, Ms. Mansoura Ismail, head of the News Branch and Higher Education Institutions in Sawa, said the Eritrean youth and students have the responsibility of shouldering and preserving the noble cultural and societal values, as well as fully understand the challenges and opportunities at hand as people and nation. She also called on the participants to upgrade the knowledge they have acquired and transfer them to fellow colleagues. Dr. Stefanos Halimariam, Dean of the College of Businesses and Social Sciences, said the workshop is part of the national endeavor to raise the awareness of nationals on the significance of cultural heritage and the noble societal values. Nationals in Abed subzone that were rehabilitated by the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare said that they are improving their livelihoods. The women foster families that were rehabilitated with livestock commended the support they were provided and said their livelihoods and the children they support is improving, stating that the rehabilitation program includes families of martyrs, foster families, and low-income families. Ms. Fatna Haj Omer, head of the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare in the subzone, the rehabilitation program has been encouraging in terms of improving the livelihoods of the beneficiaries. Mr. Ahmed Humed, head of the social welfare, said encouraging activities being conducted in the rehabilitation program. The National Association of Voluntary Blood Donors and the National Blood Transfusion Center organized Voluntary Blood Donation Week from June 7 to 12. At the Voluntary Blood Donation Week that was conducted in connection with the June 14 World Blood Donors Day, about 300 bags of blood was collected from voluntary blood donors from various institutions. This is according to Engineer Berechet Habtetzion from the National Voluntary Blood Donors Association. The chairwoman of the association, Ms. Alan Berhes, said the national blood demand is about 12 to 15,000 bags of blood annually, and that the National Association of Voluntary Blood Donors has played a significant role in ensuring blood supply. Ms. Alam also said that the association is involved in organizing awareness-raising campaigns as well as blood donation activities, and if provided with adequate blood collecting equipment, it can conduct commendable effort. The participants underlined the significance of the initiative and called for sustainability. June 14th, World Blood Donors Day is being observed for its 18th time, both at a national and global level. And now back with international news after a short break. Welcome back. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases globally surpassed 176 million today, with a death toll exceeding 3.8 million. And the number of recovered patients has exceeded 160 million. This is according to world reports. G7 leaders are meeting for their first in-person talks in nearly 2 years, with an expected pledge to donate 1 billion COVID-19 vaccine doses to the world's poorest countries. The club of leading economies Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States say a joint approach is the world's best chance for recovering from the global health crisis and tackling climate change. Health authorities in Britain have said the new Delta coronavirus variant is 60% more transmittable in households than the previous dominant Alpha variant that forced the United Kingdom to lock down in January. The Delta variant, which first emerged in India, has caused a rise in cases in Britain, prompting questions about whether physical distancing restrictions will be lifted as planned from June 21st. The Pentagon announced today a new package of $150 million in military assistance for Ukraine that will include counter-artillery radar, electronic warfare equipment, and counter-drone technology, bolstering Kiev amid elevated tension with Moscow. Although the funds were already committed by the U.S. Congress, the Defense Department's announcement details specifically how the U.S. military will allocate assistance located for Ukraine before the end of the U.S. government's fiscal year in September. The latest assistance will come in addition to $125 million that the Pentagon said, which includes armed Mark patrol boats. Moscow annexed Ukraine's Crimea region in 2014 and backed a pro-Russian separatist uprising in eastern Ukraine that triggered a conflict that has killed over 14,000 people. The new Israeli government set to end Benjamin Netanyahu's 12-year term as prime minister and signed its final coalition agreements, including term limits. The coalition of parties from far right to left is expected to focus mostly on economic and social issues rather than risk exposing internal rifts by trying to address major diplomatic issues such as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Netanyahu, Israel's longest-serving leader, will be succeeded tomorrow by a coalition that includes for the first time a party from Israel's Arab minority. Under a power-sharing agreement, Naftali Bennett of the ultra-nationalist Yemeni party will serve as prime minister for 2 years. Bennett yesterday said the coalition brings to an end 2.5 years of political crisis, although it was unclear how long the coalition's disparate elements will hold together. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un chaired a Central Military Commission meeting, media can see said today with a where for boosting military power, but there were no further details of any military activities planned. The meeting called for high alert posture against the recent fast-changing situation on the Korean Peninsula, said KNC, adding that it will also address organizational issue of dismissing, transferring, and newly appointing some military officers. Kim discussed important tasks to make a fresh turn on the overall work of national defense. North Korea's plenary meeting of the ruling party's Central Committee is planned for later this month. And now let's remind you the top stories. The Eritrea College of Business and Social Sciences, in cooperation with NEWS, organized a workshop. Rehabilitated nationals in Abu say they are improving their livelihoods. The global COVID-19 cases and deaths toll continue to rise. And the Pentagon to send Ukraine counter-drone and electronic warfare equipment. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.